Guardian vs Warframe had been an age-old debate not often discussed on spaces such as YouTube. Hence I wanted to make an informative cover of the topic now with the release of Destiny Rising. So, who would win between a Lightbearer and a Void Demon? It's important to mention that lore-wise, both Vanguard and Tenno would not fight each other as ultimately they are fighting for the same goals. Both are also known to craft alliances with other forces. Therefore, if in lore both of them somehow met, they would just pair up to defeat the baddies. But if they did go into a fight to the death, who would come out on top? The answer to that question is likely the Warframe. They are factually physically superior to Guardians in every factor there is. They are strong enough to brawl against colossal titans, fast enough to deflect machine gun fire at point blank range, and durable enough to fight directly on the surface of the sun. Something your average Guardian simply is unable to match. Guardians are just human, at best above human. Further on, whilst Verses have similarly powerful weapons, Warframes have them more, and the vast battle knowledge of fighting countless wars to utilize them. A Warframe without abilities would already be a very deadly raid boss to take down as is, even for a raid squad. Which might seem ridiculous. But it's important to keep in mind an average Guardian can often permanently die to basic grunts, including the Fallen, who permanently killed hundreds of Guardians during Twilight Gap battle, not without thousands of casualties on their end too, of course. And that was with Guardians using their abilities. Speaking on which, people often bring up paracausality as a reason why Guardians win the matchup. However, paracausality in its literal definition is just a scientific term for magic. And when it comes to raw magic power, Warframes completely outscale Guardians. One punching an asteroid alongside its civilization into dust, running so fast that the shockwave alone is enough to nuke a planetary fortress, summoning and sustaining steel-shredding planet-wide sandstorms, actually make fates in a literal sense, turn back time, and many more. Despite this, people argue that Guardians put up and win against tougher enemies, making them stronger than the Warframes, missing the important context that Guardians either outsmarted them or their enemies played soft with them. Oftentimes much weaker enemies within the verse, even by Warframe standards, have presented a much greater threat to Guardians simply because they weren't playing nice. Like Seabar, who slaughtered some of the strongest Guardians with ease, needing immediate containment. Meanwhile, when its much stronger relative, the Infestation, attempted to challenge a Warframe, it got completely nuked off the planet. Twice. In fact, it's generally portrayed as a singular Warframe being enough to stop an entire planetary armada, often including Armada's Eximus units, who are basically Guardians but without the revive. Vanguard fights for survival in their verse, meanwhile Tenno are the top dogs in theirs. If Warframes were thrusted into Destiny 2 under the same conditions the Guardians faced, they'd be able to go just as far if not further as some things like Siva, Twilight Gap, Red War, and even Crota wouldn't have been an issue for them. They'd just brute force through a lot of their problems. Meanwhile, Vanguard would likely be wiped out the same day as Grineer plow through them with before unseen overwhelming numbers, Corpus utilizing their various magic suppressing tech, or Infestation doing Siva thing but on a much more oppressive scale. I won't go overly in detail, but simply put, it'll be a bad day for Vanguard. The only ones who can come close to challenging Warframes are the legendary Guardians, like Ikora, Osiris, Saint 14, and our player Guardian, as they've got the experience, the vast power set, and had proven themselves in combat. Those chosen ones are capable of defeating some of the less powerful Warframes in a 1 versus 1, granted not without difficulty. And all of that just for said Warframe to be rebuilt in the Tenno's orbiter. Speaking on Tenno, they are as of currently completely immortal, potent magic abilities of their own, and carrying weaponry of their own. Some like Drifter have an entire throne world equivalent, with mass armadas of powerful magic soldiers, Warframes, and deities within, all of which they just created with a thought. Their capabilities are further growing, now being able to travel manipulate timelines. So really, a Guardian would be fighting two very powerful combatants at once. Even three if you include companions who also have abilities of their own. Lycans copying Eximus magic, Parasites spreading infestation, and more. In summary, if a war broke out between the two factions, only one would come out on top still standing, and it'll be the Warframes, aka Tenno. Please like and share the video, I would appreciate spreading this discussion. Or maybe even create posts on Reddit or Space Battles forums. If you have parts you disagree or want to agree with, please comment below, and I'll try my best to answer. Thank you for watching and have a good grind.